A mecha anime centered on the backdrop of a revolution and an entry to a magical girl franchise, with its characters entangled in a conflict against a cult, no less, don't have anything in common. Unless, what if I told you there's a thematic synergy between these two media which make up the front for many of the characters' dynamics? What's up everyone, it's Migzu here, and today we are exploring character dynamics set up on its foreground and driven by these two characters in particular in their series. Lelouch v Britannia, the protagonist of Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion, and Mifuyu Azusa, a key character from Magia Record, the Madoka Magica side story. So, let's begin! Characters often make moves based on how they interact with the world, similar to how we resonate with and respond to the world around us. In stories, oftentimes, one character is the central driving figure of the events of the series. In Code Geass, after Lelouch gets granted the power of the Geass and, kills his kidnappers, he uses this power to try and take control of his fate, using the incoming rebellion as leverage for his first goal, to be free from his upbringing. As a thrown-away member of the royal Britannian family, he resonates with the rebellion enough to use it as a chance to feel liberated from the clutches of his own family. In a similar way, in Magia Record, Mifuyu's wish is to be free, even if it's just in her dreams. Owing to a similar, troubled, well-off upbringing, she eventually decides to leave everything behind. Sure, she does not get kidnapped like Lelouch does, but as the true nature of magical girls are eventually revealed to her, she realizes the magical girls have very cruel fates. She then succumbs to her doppel, keeping her wish intact, eventually leaving Yachio's group to join the Magius. Both of these characters have had tough upbringings, leading them to take a course of action to handle fate as they navigate their sense of freedom. This course, along with countless death and destruction, alerts characters that are close to them, especially one very dear to both of them. For Mifuyu, that person is Yachio Nanami. Having met and done several missions dispatching witches together, and the mere fact that they are childhood friends, there's no surprise that when Mifuyu decided to make the wave of joining the Magius, Yachio herself wants to figure out why. In her own words, she does not want to give up on Mifuyu, explaining that she will take the step even if they end up as enemies. For Lelouch, that would be Suzaku Kururugi. Suzaku started out not liking Lelouch as a child, but after he was thrown away, he became his closest friend. When Britannia invaded Japan, they end up getting separated. As Lelouch becomes a fugitive, eventually revealing himself as the man behind Zero at the end of Season 1, Suzaku affirms his resolve to take down the rebellion in favor of his reformist ideals. And speaking of ideals, ideologies are what drives these pairs of characters. Such ideologies also glue them together. For Lelouch and Mifuyu, joining an organization viewed by the world as evil only makes Suzaku and Yachio affirm their ideal of saving them from the organization, unaware of the goals behind them until the fateful day approaches. For Lelouch and Suzaku, their endgame is to take all of humanity's hatred into one person and then kill them as a sacrificial lamb. This is the Zero Requiem, plotted by Lelouch as the last ember of Geass that will help humanity spread positivity and peace so that they can look forward into the future. The lamb is Lelouch, and after much hesitation from Suzaku, he eventually accepts the role of being the savior of humanity from the tyrant Lelouch, or so they made it seem. For Mifuyu, she knows joining the Magius is wrong, but having dragged many people into the organization after her initial breakdown, she realizes that she has to step up and potentially kill the organization from the inside. In a way, her style can be perceived as atonement, wanting to actually save Yachio and even entrusting her safety to another magical girl in case she follows through with her plan. These acts of self-sacrifice send even more waves to the people around them. Yachio and Suzaku at that point strive then to affirm a new resolve. In a way, both Lelouch and Mifuyu drive the stories of their respective media, It works in a similar way with how main antagonists drive a thriller story forward. To further their goals, both Lelouch and Mifuyu had to play their opposition against Suzaku and Yachio. There are other similarities among these two characters that I cannot fit into this video, but one thing is clear, no one could have predicted that these two characters would be remotely similar. I made this video because I found it fascinating how these two characters are very similar even if their stories are very different. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with any of the points I made here? Do you have any other points I'd like to share? Do you have any points you'd like to share rather? Do you have any points about Code Geass or Magia Record that you'd like to express? Please leave all of that in the comments below. I am very curious to read all of that. Thank you so much for watching. This has been in the Geass for a month and a half and I really love making this video. It's been about 4 years since the last two character analysis video. And I would like to give a big shout out to two people in particular who helped me with this analysis. If you're watching this, you know who you are, shout outs to you. Anyways guys, leave a like if you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to the channel for more of this, and music, I also do music. Please check out the 2025 playlist because we're already halfway through the year and oh my gosh, there are only 6 videos in there. So please support that playlist if you can. Subscribe to the channel as I mentioned before if you want to see more of this stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!